What's going on, Aquarius? Welcome to my channel. We're about to jump into your energy. This goes out to sun, moon, and rising, singles, couples, men, and women. Let's see what we have. Working too hard. Why is it that you're working too hard? I mean, yeah, hard work does pay off. But sometimes did you ever say to self, hey, you know what? Maybe I am working too hard. Maybe the reason I can't reach what it is that I want to reach is because I'm trying too hard. You know how you keep trying things and trying things only for them to just get harder and harder or further and further out of your reach? It's like I always say, it's kind of like sand. If you hold on too tightly, you'll lose everything. But if you hold it just enough so it can remain, you might lose a little bit, but you gain so much more, and you get to keep a big part of the foundation. So even though I am for working hard, I am for progression, I am for really putting it in, at the same time, I say you gotta kick back and relax sometimes. Because if you don't, you'll burn out. Yes, we are getting closer to Halloween, or Samhain, or Samhain, or whatever you like to call it. No, you're not crazy. That conversation that you had so clearly with the ancestor or the angel or the deity, that was very real. What makes it real? Because it was an experience for you. What is real? What isn't real? What is truth? What is lie? What is fact? What is fiction? We all know that there is fiction, like we're not going to see Falcor walking down the street. We're not going to see a president do 13 terms. Those are lies. But also, there is always truth within that fine line. So no, you're not crazy for having that connection with the other side. You are not crazy for having that connection with the ethereal realm. You're not crazy. How can you be crazy? You hear people say daily, God told me to say this. God has told me to say that. My spirit led me to say this. My heart led me to say that. So when they speak to you, it doesn't matter what the books say or how they speak to you. The important thing is that they speak to you in a way that you will understand. Your spiritual path, your spiritual progression isn't about what makes everyone else comfortable. I'm not saying that you should go out there and just do cringy, fringe-worthy magic or cringy, fringy-worthy sort of, esoteric study or occult, whatever. But just because you don't tap in the way everyone else taps in doesn't mean that, you're not tapping in. It just means you're tapping in the way that you're tapping in. And if you study the tomes, you will see differences, but you will see so many similarities. Some gaze upon the waters at night to see their creators. Some do it in a mirror. Some do it when they close and look behind their eyelids. What are they doing? What are you doing? You're all connecting with your energy sources, right? So let's keep it going. Let's just skip the commercial. There we go. But also, you have to stand strong in what's happening for you. You have to understand that this is a part of your powerful personal growth. This is a part of your change, your evolution. So many people say, walk this path, walk that path. This is the path. That is the path. That is the way. That's not the way. What is the way for you? What works for you? Is it the craft? Is it ceremonial magic? Is it Catholicism, Wicca, just being a pagan, a druid, a Baptist, a Buddhist? I could go on and on. A chaos magician, a goetic practitioner, a practitioner of Solomon's magic. What do all these things have in common? Connection. Connection is vital. Connection is important. You need to view yourself as a flower, as a garden, but at the same time, you need to understand that you are the gardener. No one's going to come and garden and water your flowers. Yes, you might have someone come along and say, hey, I got some extra water in my cups. Let me help you out. I have some extra fertilizer. Let me help you out. I have some extra sun I can shine. Let me help you out. But at the same time, you have to go inside and understand that this is my garden. This is me. These are my gifts. These are my abilities. And I will tend to these gifts and these abilities. But if I don't tend to self and step away from working too hard, what will I gain? Understand that there is power in numbers. There is power in repetition. There is power in that. Everyone knows the energy that can raise from your core essence when you sit back and start singing a song on repeat, or you speak that incantation times 3, or you speak that psalm times 3, or you speak that evocation times 3, or you speak that conjuration times 3. As you speak what you speak, turn it into a song. As you speak what you speak, turn it into a vibration. Focus not only on the words, but on the vibration, how this makes you feel no matter what path you walk. We all tap into a vibration. We all tap into the essence of dance. We all tap into the energy of life. There is potent power in the power of 3. Go look that number up. You must understand, working too hard, remember when we were over there? Well, we are back. You must have time for spirit. Ladies that have come to my channel for some time now, you have made me very proud. You honor me with your presence. And I love my gentlemen just as much, but this is for the ladies, this one specific message. You're a sponge. That might sound corny, that might sound crazy, but you are a sponge. You have to be careful on what you allow yourself to absorb. You have to make sure that you take time for spirit at the end of the day. What's 4 plus 3? And isn't that number that comes from 4 plus 3 a very potent number that people have resonated with, no matter if you are a Christian or a Catholic or a witch or a Wiccan or a practitioner of Solomon's magic or a worker for the saints, whatever it may be, or if you're just into talismanic magic? Doesn't matter. That number means rest. That number means growth. That number means introspection. It means going into self. So, time for spirit. Don't work too hard. Y'all saw I was about to put the tarot down and put the oracle down to jump into the tarot, right? But I heard one more. Do not allow that energy back into your life. And I see why. This energy is out to absorb and to suck you dry. This goes out to men and women. Do not let that energy back into your life. This is an energy that will do nothing but hold you back, that will stop you from getting to where you need to get to. What does it say? Invasion of boundaries, violation and dominance. That's not emotionally, emotionally, mentally, or spiritually healthy, even though that can all fit within the spiritual realm, mental and emotional. Your emotional and mental body is very important, is it not? So do not allow those things to come close. Now we'll jump into the tarot. You are guided and protected by the forces in your life. Listen to me say that again. You are guided and you are protected by the forces in your life. And no human on planet Earth has the right to tell you what force is good and what force is bad. You inside know what is good and what is bad. Now, mind you, there is some pretty funky stuff out there. There is. There is some pretty funky stuff. We have, the light, the dark, the shadow self, the higher self, and then we just got plain old just what the heck is going on over there. Certain energies are not good for us or anything for that matter. You can read the mythological tomes and it'll some of the wisest practitioners say there's always that one force that you should just stay away from. I'm not saying things on the nether realms or the spirits or daemons or anything like that. Just in general, look at it from an energetic point of view. Some is not good, but you are guided by the forces that protect you, so fret not on what may come your way along your journey. You might look at it. You might slightly go to the left. You might slightly go to the right. You might slightly say, you know what, I'm going to check this thing out for a little bit. And then you come back. It might have gone bad for some people. It might have gone good for some people, but it didn't really turn out always good. So understand that no human has a right to tell you what is bad and what is good, but we are all adults and we know what is bad and what is good. There is a fine line, and I think that we can all see that fine line if we just put on our simple glasses and just look. The victory is in your hands, for the record, whoever needed to hear that. But you must face those fears. You must face your shadow. You must face your worst enemy, your worst critic, your worst basher, your worst... You know who that is? You. It's always the thought that comes after the great idea that says, maybe that's not a great idea. Well, you know what it is? Because you came up with it, it filled you with joy. You felt that passion burning in your belly. I saw the cauldron in your belly with all the bubbly stuff. I saw you tossing the herbs into the water and just watching it bubble. You have the ability to face that fear. That fear is nothing more than yourself. And I'm the first to say this stuff out there exists, hence all this. But at the same time, I know that I can take this off. And what protects me, and what guides me, and what watches over me, whether it is Emmanuel the Christ, Lilith, Hecate, Persephone, Casael, Belial, etc., etc. Good old Marie Laveau, the Legba, whoever it may be in my life at that specific time, I know that they are there for a reason, and no pastor, preacher, witch, Wiccan, pagan, Scientologist can tell me otherwise. Because I'm growing, I am flourishing. People around me say, I see your light. So, your fear is you. There's no boogeyman coming to get you. Do not let anyone tell you that the boogeyman is coming to get you, because this boogeyman still hasn't knocked on anyone's door. Has he? If you ask me, some of the boogeymen are very physical. Boogeymen and boogie women. And we see them all over the world. I sense this is based around an initiation and progression and transition into a path that might not connect with another path, but you're following it. Like those who practice the craft but include Mother Mary and the Christ within their craft and call themselves Christian witches. Christian witches. That's a serious kaboom in the community. But you're welcome here. You're safe here. Because if you strip it down to its bare bones, it's the masculine and the feminine, the god and the goddess. Now, many might not connect with it on that level, but many will. So face those fears. Take that sword and you swing at those fears. You don't have to go in there with a bunch of artillery and shielding. You just go in there and you swing at those fears. Because you own those fears. You control those fears. You are the one that says, fears, I own you. You come from me. And on everything, I'm going to make sure you take that itty bitty energy that you are trying to shut me down with, and I'm going to let that power bubble in my belly, rise on up through my kunda energy, through my spine, through my soul, right to here and out. I will speak my truth, no matter who it offends. Now, I'm not saying go off and offend everyone. There is a thing called filters. But understand, sometimes you got to put that filter down. But usually you don't have to put the filter down until you really have to put the filter down. And we can all avoid putting that filter down until it's really time to put it down. So we all know the filter time and the non-filter time, right? Sometimes you got to have no filter. But I think that even though you're swinging at those own fears of yours, you want to put that filter on. And why is that? Because those fears, those thoughts, they come from you. And they can be healed and turned into power. That's all I got for you. Hopefully this resonates. Now, trivia of the day. There was a scene in Supernatural where they reconnected with their father and their mother for only a short amount of time. You name that episode, you get a free reading. Check the information below. Like, share, and subscribe. Peace.